fourth game. Because of that, I'm going with IG. I also think that they have what it takes actually to win this one. They still have to prove that they're able to take EG though.
I overall like IG's draft better, so I'm gonna have to go with IG. I think EG is showing they're the better team. They're playing better Dota, but draft-wise, this strength pick just ticks the right boxes for me. So.
All right, well, I'm very happy to hear that, and I'm sure a lot of people at home are also very happy to hear that we're going to have a little bit more of a competitive game on our hands compared to what we saw previously. Isn't that right, Lycan?
Just putting the words in our mouths. That right and everything. I would say that IG, you know, looks like they have the best draft so far in game number 3, but EG is also setting up Razor for a really, really good game. I'm leaning towards EG still. You know, I think Razor should have a really good time. It's also a possibility. I think most likely they're going to run an aggressive tri-lane, leave Ice alone, and that's what working for them so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've got to kind of disagree. I think it is another outdraft. Like, I don't know how IG is going to be able to lane against this Razor. You know, both side laners, the Underlord or the Sven, whatever the matchup's going to be, they're going to have a bad time. I think they overlook the potential of the Razor coming in as the last 5th pick, and I just feel it's another draft where EG just looks to be coming out ahead.
Well, will we have a 4th game of this best-of-5 grand finals, or will this finally be the time for NA, the time for EG, the time for Arteezy and Abed to win a major? We're going to find out. OD Pixel on Lacoste, take it away.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, this 3rd game now. 2-0 EG up at the moment against IG. Without a doubt, though, Lacoste, this is, I mean, as you said, you actually prefer IG's, but in comparison to the last game, it's a million times better.
Oh, for sure. They don't have the Faceless Void. We've seen Liquid had some success with Ben. I think it's a good hero here, you know, having that extra armor, extra, you know, something against Lycan, which should be good, you know, extra movement speed, so you can run away from the static flank. Also doesn't sound too bad. He's going to be the primary target, you know, for that lane. Razor's like, yeah. I'm just gonna link you. This is my job throughout most of the game, to just be able to link him. Fly does not have a sentry ward. This is the 2nd time when IG is playing Tire that they've set up observer ward behind the tower. Might get devorded.
Abed, yet again, on his Storm Spirit. We've seen it, you know, in the series sort of get pushed further and further up in the draft order. This game picks first. Do you think IG have reacted to Abed's Storm enough with their picks, or do you see this as another game where the Storm can have a pretty good time?
They're playing into root mechanic coming out from the Underlord into Nyx Assassin. I think Kaka, you know, he wanted to be the one that has the mana burn, has that stun. He's set up Carapace on the Stone Remnant, and yeah, they have much more than what they did before. Also, like Remnant coming out from the Void Spirit also could be potential setup with the Yule Scepter. So in this particular matchup, you know, Stone Spirit against the Void Spirit, you know what your item build is going to be on the moment.
Arteezy going in onto JT.
One more hit.
One more hit. Is he going to be able to find it?
No, he can't get it anymore. Like the Tango plus the armor coming up from the tier 2 tower and some extra regeneration will keep him alive.
Just an aggressive move there from EG.
Dire's turret has been killed.
Dive. Settled in. Arteezy. Chased down here by the 2. Then the Firestorm. Is it enough to bring him down? It isn't. Get a Tango going. Kaka still continue to chase down. We'll have stun again in a second. If Kaka lands the stun, Arteezy's looking pretty dead. He'll be able to do so. Kaka getting first blood for IG.
Good start. You know, they decided to go in, try to get that kill. All they needed was like 1 extra hit. Not managed to do it. Kaka comes back with the first blood, lands another stun, boost of speed, and now this sets up Underlord for a bit of a better, you know, start. Razor, he will always want to link you in the lane. One of the reasons why they picked him. The slow, Crystal Maiden needs 1 mana for a bite.
Be able to get it. This time, Arteezy will manage to finish off the kill. Not quite enough mana for a stun, so couldn't hold back Arteezy from chasing JT down. Lane. So far, Abed versus Emo. Ledge for Emo moment. Very, very close. Top lane. See Ice struggling to be able to step up and get the CSs. Almost certainly is just going to be a lane where Fly, he's going to have a good time. We're going to get a pretty free farming Sven up here for the back of the ball.
You don't really threaten a kill with Lycan and the Earth Spirit unless you make like a really, really big mistake. You go for some kind of a dive. He should have a really decent time. Earth Spirit trying to make a move on a mid lane, something we've seen before.
Good time at this moment. Crit will look for the opening. See if they can ground Emo. Arbex steps forward with the vortex. Back into the remnant. Picking it up. Pulse is out. That will be enough to save him. Emo keeping himself alive. That patented move that Crit always makes around this time.
And he will have a healing cell, which will pretty much the full HP. And this is what they want to have, you know. Lycan on the top lane, getting some extra XP, because Crit, they can't kill the top. So leaving Lycan alone, Sven with 2 points in cleave will push out the lane always. He wants also to be able to farm the side camp, potentially, or the small camp, and then like your Lycan will also farm.
Spirits unite.
Heading over to join Emo and Ollie in the mid lane. They're bringing the three of them in. Arbed very low on mana. Help at the moment. Crit, Rune will manage to refill the bottle here for Arbed. Zaichi will show all three of them now in the mid lanes. Safety is going to be there for EG on the side lanes. We know that the supports are all hounds backing up Emo.
And if we look at the bottom lane, Razor with the Quelling Blade, it's no shame. If you need some kind of help, like even if Arteezy's buying it, for all the new players out there, you know, just buy a Quelling Blade. It will help you out, even if you're a ranged hero.
Mid lane, Arbed. Kaka was able to close in on him. Quite enough burst though between him and Emo. Arbed bringing plenty of regen out. Charles Clarity's Mango's good to go, as he'll be able to keep himself in the lane. 5-minute bounty runes coming up. Still just, you know, Fly having a much better time compared to what we had in the lane last game. Setup so much better. This time, actually able to hit some.
They are not making any stacks so far that I've seen. Ancients not stacked, nothing in the jungle stack. Sven would love to have. So maybe Phoenix eventually, you know, if Sven goes to the jungle a bit earlier, then Phoenix takes over the lane, Sven can just farm. But Sven right now does not need help, especially once he hits that level 6. There's also some kill potential, possibly on Lycan, because he's only level 5.
Mid. Want to try and punish Emo before he's hit the 6. Another move from Crit, kicks him back into the reach of Arbed. Coming in. Not quite enough to kill off Emo. Both mids to hit the 6. Arbed will do so a little sooner than Emo, if they're able to maintain control of the runes.
Dire's structures are fortified.
So having the coming over towards the mid as well. Still Crit, he's going to be the one to grab it. Takes it away. Kaka won't be able to make the move in on the sort of moments from Kaka coming over towards the mid. It is giving more and more space for Arteezy down bottom to get ahead in this matchup. 30 for 8 against the 15 for 3 of JT. JT having slightly tougher time than Nada by side in the other half of it.
Storm Spirit, he got level 6. He's going back to base. Let's see if he decides to make an aggressive move on the bottom lane. Lane is in a good state, you know, he has, but he's moving top. Lycan just hit level 6. Does not like, ideally we would want to have a Necro Book as well, so you can make a move. Crit is already there, level 3, still saving a point, with another point in Boulder Smash.
Mark with initiation and multiple TPs coming in from IG. Over both Emo and Kaka. Arbed out with his hit just in time. Close there, Emo nearly finding the Remnant follow-up.
They kind of split the stack 50-50. This time around, Arteezy going for a Falcon Blade. Last time he played the Razor safe lane, like he was set up for such a good game. Went straight into Boots of Travel, but this hero needs some kind of mana, even though you have Crystal Maiden in your team. Maiden usually does not put more than 1 point in aura anyway, especially early on. You just want to max that Frostbite, especially against Void Spirit. The root mechanic is super good. So I can understand why he's getting that a bit of damage, a bit of a tankiness, and some extra mana regen.
Really want to try and catch Arbed out around the mid. Kaka just sitting on the sidelines. In case aggression's there from EG onto Emo. Runes, flying Arbed. They're ready to try and hold for the top one. Remnant's down. 20 bottom anyway. Again, IG maintaining control of the power rooms. He got to get himself in before Solid to take it, so it won't be saved for Emo.
What a move from Crit. You know, he uses a TP just to secure that the enemy mid laner does not get a refill on the bottle, that he does not get any power rune. Underlord playing very aggressive here.
Starting to rift out though. Water for the cliff around the mid. They know that the movement was being made towards
under attack.
around any longer than he needs to. Fly. We'll see what sort of build-up he goes for from the Master of Madness. If it variates from what we did see from Mickey. Sven performances here at the Major.
Yeah, a bit more like status resistance, SNY. He also went for a blink that game, upgraded it to Swift Blink, I believe, later on. He didn't go for Aghanim Scepter at all.
And then Emo, big jump in, trying to set up onto Crit, they've got.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Abed not having any opportunities to get in and help. Emo and Kaka looking pretty strong here in the mid lane. Top tower starting to get pressured a bit by Ice with the Necro books. Be able to pour Solid all the way back in. Quite the nuisance here for the Phoenix. Trying to do his best with the body blocks to get some more damage in. A lot of space given for Ice farming right up by the tower. So having Abed and Crit in the neighborhood, if any TP's coming from IG, trying to hold off this push.
Right now, Sven is just jungling. Having that Mask of Madness, clearing the stacks. They're also going to stack Ancient Creep Camp one more time. While meanwhile in the top lane, Ice, high level. All he's a bit under level. Like he's level 3 on Phoenix. He needs the help.
And Emo, a couple of times now, he's been able to pick up these supports. Big hit from Ahmed.
He's not a man.
Able to dodge it there. With the Ultimate still on the man alone. The whole of IG chasing it down. The rebound from Jesse, and they bring down the storm. They'll turn over towards RTZ. Fly. Looking control on this. Set up there for Kaka. RTZ looking to be in a whole world of trouble. Stuns around. IG bring the fight around the mid lane as they take down the 2 core.
Very aggressive move there from IG. Also Stone Spirit zipping in. And then like nice dodge with the illusion rune, but does not pop a mango. He had 1 mango to work with, I believe, and also a bottle charge. Maybe he could have gotten out of the trouble, but decided to focus on the voice line.
Always that temptation.
Come begin.
Space being brought for Ice though, with all the action going on mid. The levels on the Necro book. Overall 2k lead here for IG. Fly. To be in a perfect spot as the Sven.
Dyer's top
dream
tower
scenario
is
of getting
under
involved
attack.
in early action, cleaning up the
Dyer's
ancient
structures
stacks.
are fortified.
This Sven is going to get
He's going
pretty
to be
beefy.
big. Yeah, this time around, Fly, much better game, especially compared to Faceless Void. In game number 2, Phoenix still struggling a bit with the levels, you know, trying to take some XP from those stacks. The one who's also having a really good time is Underlord. Like, he's going for Road of Athos against the Storm Spirit, so Abed, he needs a BKB. Like, after he finishes that Orchid, BKB is pretty much a must-have.
Let's see if they can burst down Ice. Point the route, they can. Even the reset and get out of there at the same time. Mid Abed goes in for the dive. Able to collapse onto Ollie. Something in return, but again, these trades each and every time favouring that of IG, as IG the stronger hold on this early game.
They're moving together as a unit, Sven being, you know, very active. He doesn't necessarily need to be involved in the kills, but he shows up. They're like, yeah, we can't really fight Sven right now. He feels super strong, has Yasha, Bracer, Mask of Madness, going into that Sanj, you know, the extra movement speed to break the link from the Razor is going to be really good.
Try and catch the explosion. So they've got to be careful. That Fly has got strength ready to pop, but he can turn if they don't quite get the quick kill that they're looking for. Mid lane as well, also a hard place to fight into. JT's around. 1 pit laid out, could set up for Abed to get collapsed on completely by the following stuns.
And now it's sort of Athos on Underlord, so he can keep them inside 3 points in Pit of Malice. It's just going to be so hard for EG to push the towers. Like, this pit, as you mentioned, pretty much covers the whole area of the mid lane. Abed this time around not having as good game as we've seen in the other ones. Struggling a bit. They have the counters playing into Nyx Assassin. He's about to be level 8 compared to Emo, who's like level 10. I talked about the items but didn't finish my sentence where like whenever you play against the Storm Spirit as a Void Spirit, most of the time it's just going to be Yule Scepter to be able to dispel that flag. Getting caught.
It's going to go down. We'll see if Crit can get anything in return. They can. Crit rolls in, gets the connection onto Ollie.
Radiant's
JT turns,
middle
holds
tower
back
is
Crit.
under attack.
Saiji will back off with their Phoenix gone. Make kaka on the hunt. Abed.
Radiant's bottom
full
tower
HP and
is
full
under
mana.
attack.
Syndra alone won't be able to do much. Maybe if Emo's able to close in on this, the two of them together can take it. Zabed stepping up.
Where's the party?
Won't quite be able to get in. Kaka didn't quite get in range there with the Tower Fist whilst the Remnant exploded. So Abed will manage to live another day.
Oh, Haste Rune just spawned top.
Crit starting some action down bottom. Abed's going to be in with the follow-up. With the control. Wi-Fi will turn with the stun, but they have the damage.
EG, they see, you know, they saw 3 heroes on a mid lane. They're like, we caught a glimpse of Sven. Let's just go and try to take him down. Because they know there's not going to be any follow-up. He's not going to get any help. Nyx Assassin shown mid with Vendetta. Like, very nice move from EG there.
Pick-off potential still incredibly strong for the former Earth Spirit hero we've seen run so many times with great success. Trying to soak up some XP behind the tower. IG
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Take him out. Will manage to claim this tier 1 for themselves. The objectives.
Radiant
as much as
structures
they
are
can done,
fortified.
even with Lifeline off the
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
JT will be able to secure the bottom tower. Like this Underlord is in the middle of the pack, but feels very unkillable unless they break the numbers.
Running in for Ice. Crit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ice goes down. Did have the summons down. Lifeline can get a head over.
Radiant's bottom
Start
tower.
dealing with the Necro. Be able to control, take down both of them. 9-4, 3k lead. IG holding up this advantage. No signs at the moment of EG being able to really close the gap on Flyfly's farm. This Sven is going to be able to stay nearly sort of an item ahead at this pace. VG can't find enough action going in their favor.
Necro 3 is done on Lycan, so they should be, you know, ready to fight, especially once Abed finishes the Orchid. There it is. They can't stop him. But the Pit of Malice, like, this is your biggest problem in this game, but, you know, besides Sven, because Underlord with a good Pit of Malice into another Road of Atos, it's just too good. Like, he's also completely nullifying the damage that comes from Lycan these fights, especially in these smaller areas where, like, you can't just pass. Emo in top.
Emo, bit of commitment aggressively here. With side close instead of onto Chris.
Don't get him.
He's gone. Emo's dead as well. He had just enough damage.
Oh,
Damage takes him for more. Over the end, Easy takes down the supernova. Triple kill for the grab there with the ball. They drag that Lifeline. Take him down as well. And team wipe out of nowhere. They're 3G.
this was a fight, you know. Void Spirit, he goes in, he uses the Yule Scepter on himself, and yeah, just a perfect setup for Earth Spirit to use his abilities. Abed, meanwhile, picks up that Arcane on the Storm Spirit. Kind of a bad act there to try to make stuff happen, but they already lost multiple heroes. Man, EG, like, we're gonna see that one again.
As you said it, you know, such an aggressive move from Emo, using pretty much all his mobility and escape to fully initiate. JT tries to bail them out. It must have been so close to completing the rift, but the damage just very well prioritized there by EG as they bring down JT's Underlord. And from that point onwards, IG, they didn't have a backup plan.
They did not. You know, they get the good jump, they get the good initiation, and as you mentioned, like Emo using all of his abilities pretty much to close the gap and aggressive Yule Scepter, he has nothing to protect himself with anymore.
9-10, that lead that IG had closed completely there off the back of that team fight. See there, all that progress that IG were building up off the back of a solid start with the lanes and with Fly's farm, it's just gone in an instant.
I want to see what Arteezy's next item is going to be. Last time, when he was playing Razor, he got so much value from a Blink Dagger pickup. I believe it was against Amiz Monkey King, where he just wanted to get on top of him. And then this might be also the item build here, you know, against the Sven. Now that you have a BKB, you don't care about any of the abilities pretty much that they can throw at you. So it could be a really nice pickup.
G, now in a position to go for Roche. It has been scanned out immediately by IG, and IG have the ults ready to go. They've got Supernova at the ready for this fight. Emo's trying to head in with the Invis Sentry. Now they've seen him. The silence, the quick, the pull back to the vortex. Emo's in trouble. The fight sometimes feels pretty straight back down into the stomach. Quick catches it perfectly. Gets the will fall to the Firestorm. The rest of IG taken out of there. But again, IG losing the team fight. And once again, Emo, he's on the front. He's just not prepared for EG to react as quickly as they do. He feels that he's so strong with the Invis. Sentry's laid down. EG know he's there. And Crit, instant setup there with the silence into the stun. There's no escape for Emo.
Oh, they just have his number this time around because like Emo is playing so aggressive. Like they have Necrobook units, they're trying to go for Roche. You know there's gonna be Sentry there like 99% of the time. He still decides to go for that play. And he gets punished.
Definitely starts to hurt IG. After he was having a very solid start. I think pretty much 7-0-2 in the beginning. Those 2 kills now back-to-back on Emo, slowing the momentum down. EG over to the side. Crit finds to catch onto Ollie.
Ollie can't catch a break this game. Like, they have so many tools to deal with him. They don't really have that, you know, high attack speed hero, but also he did not really place some good eggs this time around. Crit, it did again.
Never find JT, kicks it back over to the rest of the team. EG move over. JT's gone. Another silence, another roll. Crit in over the wall. Emo, the full there with the vortex of Ahmed. And Emo's gone again. The tip starting to come out as Crit is just setting up kill after kill after kill. As you said, they can't catch a break, IG, but they seem to consistently catch a Crit, as he's on them every single time.
Crit has just been amazing. A bit of a slower start to his Earth. Didn't manage to find any openings early on, but his rolls, his silences, like the spell cast, everything was pretty much on point, and this should be the free Roche.
No, I don't think after those last few events, IG's going to risk going over there again. ZG controlling this area perfectly. Not leaving any chance for IG to even begin to think of setting up around Roshan. As Abed, he's going to have the Aegis ready for the next fight.
Arteezy was thinking, do I get a Sange? Do I get a Blink Dagger? He saw how the last fight went, decided to go for that Blink Dagger, which I really, really like. You know, being able to just jump on the Sven. Like, he's never going to feel that comfortable playing into Razor. And they've shut down Emo. Emo was having such a good time. Now he's nowhere near his second item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
3 back-to-back deaths, just destroying his early game completely.
Dire's top
One
tower
more move
is
like
under
that,
attack.
and Emo's impact is going to fall off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Top lane EG.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Tier 2s.
Dire's top tower
Do you want to do anything about this? See, with the way last few fights have gone, it's very hard for them to make that call, especially into the Aegis.
Oh, not again!
Emo pushing down the lane. The silence is there from Crit, finding enough time to line up the roll. And another death. Bottom lane, Arteezy is going to be taking the silence. They're looking to take him out. JT is going to be able to bring Flying Kaka back to safety. Ollie will manage to TP out, but they can't let the Void Spirit die like this. This is fourth time,
exactly. Like Crit, he used the roll a bit prematurely, you know, considering if you use the Stone Remnant. So he didn't even use the Stone Remnant, still connects on the target. And you can feel that JT is afraid. Once he uses Dark Earth, he needs to be able to control Void Spirit, otherwise someone might get kicked out of the range, and then you're just going to be left there alone.
Very risky here. IG, they've smoked up whilst they don't have Emo, and it's into an Aegis. Maybe, I mean, it's going to be that sort of surprising move that it will catch EG by...
Oh, they're not going to catch anything. Even if they caught Fly, it's still not worth it. I can understand the aggression that they wanted to do, be a bit more, you know, active, because there's no shapeshift, there was no BKB on Razor. But even, as you said, they still have Aegis on the Storm up and running for 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
back on with the push. Will manage to finish off the tier 2.
Oh, they need to talk about the items, because Lycan and Razor are going for the same item though, so he just like swapped.
Is under attack.
He bought a casual plate mail, which is also fine. He wanted to get the AC, but realized Lycan is also going for one.
Pick up the axe instead.
Casual plate mail is also fine. You know,
yeah,
playing into Sven feels like a good item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You just, as you said, you just need to be able to BKB, get on top of the Sven, get the link going, and just survive through the initial physical burst that Sven will still have at the start of the link with the God Strength. If you live through that, Sven's not been able to take you down. Razor, you're just going to be able to force the Sven to have to back off each time, and with the control that EG has,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
For Fly to do. He does have the BKB now, but those BKB usages have to be flawless from the Sven.
For sure. JP's World of Chaos, and oh, another jump. It's just going to be on the Nyx Assassin. And Nyx Assassin does not ever feel comfortable playing in any of the Necro 3 heroes, like a Beastmaster, Lycan, Chaos. Let's see the damage.
And it's time to start something off right here. He already feels the way that this fight is going. He's starting to rip the map. Constrict has been committed though by
Dyer's middle tower.
A bit of an awkward move there. You can see very early on that JT did have no inclination of sticking around for the fight.
If they get a stun on Razor, I think they earn it instead of getting back, because they could potentially just bring down Razor low enough to kill him with the Sven's God Strength. Sveng. No blink.
I mean, he still wants to go, still wants to make something happen with this God Strength. He's stepping up. He's in with the static, and Sven's got to step away. Slice moving all of it down, and freezing built the high ground from Fly. Emo's got a run. JT's going to get chased out by a Jimmy. Crit's going to get to the roll. Closes the gap on JT as JT's gone.
No, it's not a good bit of malice. We're going to see that again. Razor, he managed to walk around a bit of malice, like good moves from Arteezy there, get the static link off, and also he did not block that passage. Like, check the bit of malice. Like, it was a bit more aggressive, good jump from the Storm Spirit, and the Razor just goes around, manages to get out and follow them.
Yeah, it stays on Fly for more than long enough to force Fly to have to run. No chance of taking the fight anymore when Fly has lost, I think, at least 120 damage there to the link. 4K in lead now for EG. Fly's farm still in a good place, but his last few fights, Arteezy's caught up completely on his Razor.
He's going into Aghanim Scepter, which is also okay. Was thinking about Sun, a bit of a status resistance, maybe transition that into Heaven's Halberd against Sven, which would also be fine, but getting Aghanim Scepter gives them a bit more like push potential, and then you can deal with the 2 targets.
Radiant's
I don't know why, like, in the description it says when striking buildings, it will only target towers, barracks, and the HQ. Like, those buildings are actually just buildings inside the base are not affected. Like, it would be too powerful if you could actually go for that.
Dyer's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Got it balanced in all things.
I like how that's still called a building. Couldn't think of anything different.
I mean, Dota's a very creative game. You know, there's going to be limits.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Building. Maybe we'll see it get a name. We have it bottom lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tier 2.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Ison again, this is
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Can't do anything here if you're IG.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Right now. You've got to try and look to get the trade going.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Crit has a BKB. Earth of Shadows, BKB.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
Lycan units.
Radiant's
push
top
on the bottom lane. They also have a
attack.
siege creep. They know something is up. Like EG, they have a good read. IG smoked on a completely different side of the map.
It's going to take them quite a while to get over it.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack.
They're heading in the right direction.
Are scanning.
See if they can get a jump. Say EG's going to feel that something's coming over. EG, they're going to be prepared. They're holding close to one another on the high ground. Do you really want to try and fight into this?
Dire's bottom
EG, they
tower
have
is under
vision
attack.
on the high ground. They're scouting things out. They're sure that there are no boards from the enemy team with the Necros, and now they're going to start pushing in some damage,
Dire's
forcing a glyph from IG. Next Roche may respawn in 30 seconds.
The next objective they'll look for are CC will have to pull Aghanims. As well, they lose a curry in the river, but Aphelios gives up the whole move of IG.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
In the mid lane. Really just prepare for the high ground's effect. Fighting EG outside of the base has rendered terribly the last few times that IG tried to go for it. Mid lane. Opening here on
That's a good shot.
The chainstone coming out halfway to the back. He's going to get blown off. He's taking out 100 to 0. Now the Godstone. Right by top of the one. Princess name's going to be blocked off. IG able to find that opening. As RPG wasn't quite ready for that opening start.
I mean, if he pops a BKB there, not sure if Blink Dagger was ready, but he needs to be careful. They have so many stuns, like stun from Sven, stun from Nyx Assassin. Let's see the Roche respawn, minute and 5 seconds, or Easy will be out. But we need to be a bit more careful.
A little bit too close to the base. Quite prepared. Didn't know that IG was all up there, and the pace had kind of slowed down. Things had started to calm off a little bit, so Arctis just getting a bit of a rude awakening there from that jump of IG.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's what IG can do with this. 5 seconds though until RTC's back up, so not too long whatsoever. We'll respect that as soon as the one comes in. Themselves their half of the map.
Damage coming out of this man is still super high. You also find a really good neutral item, like Spider Legs, that's gonna give you move speed, ability to go over the cliffs. So, like that static link is not gonna be that great. He has a lot of movement speed from the Warcry, Mask of Madness, SNY might be able to circulate, break the barrier.
Closing in on Emo, the follow-up stone there for Crit. They grab it back in the ball chest. Emo's gone. And we're seeing it every single game, really, when eyesight starts from these Beastmasters. He's on the Lycan, the Micro, the Vision game. He's in with Phoenix as well. And RTZ, he's dealing with JT. He's on it with the Sonic, and JT looking to get out here with the rest of the got the damage they do. JT's not getting on tonight.
Crit understands, like, we have enough damage to bring him down. Rolls onto the Phoenix, almost gets like a solo kill until Sven shows up. Buyback from Nyx Assassin.
They're going to start losing the base. RTZ stepping up to the high ground. And with the push of Eyesight Dice's army, Tier 3's gone. What can they do to slow this? Eyesight popping the on. In fact, ready to look to maybe even pressure a dive. They'll force out another buyback from IG.
That's a big one.
With a set of BKB is available, Smart He's going to pop it. It's beat and it's coming towards Lifeline. He's put in his best. Lifeline's going to put the BKB and run. Supernova's out. EG's getting inside in the distance. Wait for the ult to finish.
This is so big from EG. They just forced them to use 2 buybacks. They got the tower, and they also forced the egg plus the BKB from Sven. Roshan is up. They can go in. Like, they have enough damage. Necrobrook is available. There's also AC on Lycan right now. So much minus armor coming out. They just have enough. Arteezy finishing off the Aghanim Scepter as well. He also found the Spider Legs, so it's going to have a bit easier time chasing Sven with that static link.
Stupendous!
He's spotted out. It's Aegis and Cheese. IG, they don't want to let this get away. Coming in with the smoke. We have got strength. No Supernova, no Rift either, so JT won't be able to bail them out if the fight goes wrong.
No BKB for 20 as well on Sven. EG, go back, holding the high ground. They know that they are aware of this. Look at Crit positioning.
Crit trying to dispel any sort of smoke movement that IG from the low ground. IG very hesitant about making moves into the triangle. Ollie. Ward down. Reaching advantage there, going to try and jump Emo. He's able to let the 3-man silence, pushes the back line, he's got a split. A little jump ball from Armin, they're looking at 1-5 by 1 by he'll be able to the BKB fly, he'll make it out of there. JT's trying to bail the rest of the map, but Emo's dead. Out by IG, Ollie's trying to TP over, crits him with the stun, stops the TP escape.
Man, Crit, what a performance by him. You know, holding there, they've split the Necrobook units if they want to enter from this or the other side, and then he lands a 3-man silence. A good link from Arteezy. The reason why he bought a Blink Dagger. Yeah, we're going to see that one again.
I mean, the jump there, but Crit, he keeps his cool, he heads over, boom. Suddenly 3-man silence, they have to split. Kaka and JT can't offer anything at the start of it as Crit's pressure just splits IG apart. and allows EG to clean them up one by one. JT very lucky to get away with his life. Emo and Ollie left behind. EG's got the space to move in. Aegis on Arteezy, and she's on Arbed, ready for the next fight.
And they swap things around a little bit. They still show that, you know, Razor. I like that, because Razor will be the one possibly going in a bit more aggressive, sieging the high ground with the Eye of the Storm, especially with the Aghanim Scepter. So they give it that instead, which I really, really like.
And here comes the push for the Aghanims. Arteezy using the lightning to break down the barracks. 20 seconds until he's under attack. The Rams will use Predator fast as well with the ACL. Coming in, I've got the fortification. Slowing down a little bit. Arteezy get back in that armor. He's good for the shot. And then straight away on top of the zone.
Good for that.
Goes buyback on the Nyx.
They do not want to lose this Aegis yet, because they just
They're instantly out of there. Size popping the ult, break away from IG. IG won't be able to punish EG at all there.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They're still gonna have cheese. They're still gonna have Aegis for the next fight. Well, maybe they use the cheese. Who's holding the cheese? They don't have the cheese.
They had it on Arbed before.
Okay, he popped it.
24-13, 10k lead. Again, this third game, once more, IG just finding themselves in a position that... How do they get themselves out of it?
They're just crumbling. Like, the decision-making after a couple of deaths on Evo, he died for like 4 times in a row. Now trying Wolves, they're scouting them out.
Here we go, jumping from Arteezy, he's on to fly, popping the BKB. He's got to run. He's got to get out of there with the damage over to the side. Onto Evo. Emo's gone with no buyback for a minute, and Arteezy's ready to head back up to the high ground and into the base. No creep wave at the moment, though.
This is also the perfect item for Arteezy. You know, you get stuck on a cliff, just use the spider legs, can easily get off of it, and this allows him to just chase the Sven. It also allows him to not have boots of speed in his inventory, just keeping that blade melt. Like, if he gets the first jump on Sven, if they don't stun lock him, Arteezy's good to go, and Fly will need to bail.
And every time I have to use those BKBs to survive and run, making it increasingly harder for IG to just set up a scenario where they can pop BKB God Strength and get the jump themselves, with EG's aggression just beating IG at it every single time. EG's playing far too fast for IG to keep up with once again.
Bloodstone, Orchid on Storm Spirit, level 20. He also went for the Electric Vortex duration talent. Like, this Crystal Maiden Aura really helping out how much farm Abed can get, and now going into Aghanim Scepter, which I really like. He also, you know, just prefers to get that item as, like, sometimes third, sometimes fourth, but really works well. Kind of like a budget black hole.
IG just having to sit back and wait now.
Lotus Orb is done on Underlord, but he needs to, like, precast it on Sven before Sven gets a good jump.
Emo, very careful how he jumped out of the base like this. You know that EG, if they feel time is right, they'll be great on top of it.
Scanning.
Yeah, they can start. A little fight to get the drag back. They bring down Arbed. Arbed will go down. Arteezy's one game down. Arteezy's got the ones. He's got the Aegis. He's going to be back for a second round with the Supernova. He's going to be successful. EG trying to get back in to help him out. But the Supernova goes off. They've all been stabbed. IG down the ball. Arteezy getting brought down. Arteezy's dead. IG fighting over with the magnetite. Crit trying to do his best to rectify the fight. Keeping the magnetite going with the spike canvas. Trips on Crit. IG turn. They take him down as well.
Yeah, this is the fight that IG needed. You know, they go in, Fly gets a good ulti off. Like, if he does not get static linked, or if the static link is like 100 damage, you're still gonna feel those right clicks coming out from Sven, almost 600 damage on him, getting him closer to like level 25, even more damage, and getting him closer to the Swift Blink. Then he's gonna have unlocked movement speed, will be able to bring that, break that link.
So just the initiation this time around, just a little too aggressive from EG. They both commit in onto Flyfly, but JT, perfect Lotus, lays it down onto Flyfly, causing Abed to pull himself in with the Vortex. And with Abed gone, things start to fall apart very quickly. Perfect use of the Supernova to guarantee that stun on RTZ's revival from the Aegis.
Yeah, that was such a clutch move as well on top of that. And Lotus Orb, like this is the best item pretty much that they can get against the Sven. Sorry, against the Razor.
Damage.
Also, he decided to get a Lotus Orb for himself in Razor.
Restore the void within.
There aren't too many like things to dispel. There is a silence on the Void Spirit. Sven does not have that Aghanim Scepter, so he's not following you, which is a really good item to counter it. I guess he just wants to have something against a bit of Malice to be able to move around freely.
But he's already got the BKB.
Maybe he was thinking, you know, I'm running out of slots. I bought that casual plate mail. What do I turn this into?
Sure, I think that's almost certainly it. And it is something that does mean when he commits to Flyfly, if he doesn't want to use the BKB straight away, suddenly Flyfly can't hold him back with the stun, because it's only going to cause Flyfly to stun himself. Flyfly does also have a BKB. We'll see. They definitely didn't do too much in the last situation. Minotaur Horn also on Flyfly. So he's getting tankier and tankier, and a big bit of that lead shut down there off the back of that last defense from IG, showing that they've still got a good punch ready to come out.
They still have to respect the damage coming out from Sven, because it's insane. Especially if they get a Lotus Orb on him, then you're not gonna feel like the static link. Crit still deals a ton of damage in the team fights. They also gave him Spell Prism to lower the cooldown on his abilities. More rolls, more silences, and the lower cooldown on the BKB plus the Spirit Vessel. Next Roche may respawn in a minute and 30. Emo holding a gem. Oli picked that one up.
Get the cut marks easy. He's showing at the moment in the mid, Kaka. Him with a spike carapace setup. Will open up with the stun. IG. See if they can commit onto him. RTZ is going to be able to easily get the BKB off. IG, they'll start to back off. Ice and Abed. It won't check. IG succeeding in getting the BKB charge down on RTZ. Now they want to fight. Now that they know the BKB is on cooldown, they can go for a big move. They're going to come in with the Rift over towards the bottom lane. Ice is heading over to clean it up, but he's going to have a nasty surprise as IG turn up. Ice has instant reactions though. As soon as he sees the team, BKB and a TPL, Ice is fine.
Sven even popped the ulti. Maybe he thought, you know, with 1 or 2 crits from Daedalus, I will have enough damage to bring him down. But Lycan is super tanky, especially with the AC, and realizes they have nothing that go through magic immunity, so I'm just going to TP out.
About 2k away from the Aghanims on Abed. Make a big difference in these fights. Play around all the counter plays that IG have going for themselves. Flyfly did finish the Swift Blink, so big step up to his damage output. So if he's able to close the gap, get that initiation with the God Strength, Ben is going to hit incredibly hard.
Storm, he found Timeless Relic for himself. That's going to be a great item, especially once he picks up that Aghanim Scepter. He's getting very close, double damage in the bottle. Next Roche, minute and 30.
See as well with the timing, Flyfly gets himself, gets 2 tokens actually sent out that were available still. So that's pushed him up just half a level away from the level 25 now, Sven.
Stacking the domes, new strat.
Yeah, hit them with so that surprise XP jump at the end. In terms of 25s for EG, still away from them.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Very close to having his next item done. He's got it here, I believe.
Emo has a 10-second BKB. They need to be careful about this, because he did not use it yet. And it's...
Stormcraft is actually kind of giving it away.
Oh yeah, I just forgot about that item. You know, it's one item that has a good dispel mechanic, but doesn't feel like it has a lot of synergy. You know, who's gonna bring that? Do you want to have that on the like a spellcaster? Do you want to have that on someone who deals the damage? Mana regen is nice though.
We're holding it like they were just then. I mean, the EG are fully aware of where IG's sneaking around. Craft are proccing against the wolves and the creeps. They're going to try and find this. They're going to look to jump. IG's straight away. He turns, he takes down Ahmed, Crit falling low as well, the Remnant, one point grab with Crit, still alive, kicks back Emo, Emo turns over towards him, you'll set up onto Crit, Crit will go down.
Like, they thought Sven's not gonna turn, but he also didn't have 25 there yet, but you can see the damage. Like, with the Swift Blink, unlocks the mass movement speed, just like completely turns around with the God Strength, gets 2 hits, and they're all like half HP or almost gone. Thor Spirit, you know, he does not have a defensive item for himself other than the Black King bar, so that's a bit problematic. They also need to respect still the damage coming out from Sven.
We see as well, they did force out a couple of buybacks from IG, so IG putting a bit more money into that fight. At the same time, Crit comes out with his as EG, they don't want to let IG get the chance to get into Roche using those buybacks in the fight again. It's a good kickoff, good way to start things, but Fly holding his ground, knowing that he would have the damage to turn and take down the 2 of them.
Roche is alive. Aegis, Cheese, and Aghanim Scepter.
Who's eyeing up that Ags? I mean, I guess, you know, Abed would love to have to not buy his own. Still yet to buy into it.
And they can give it to him. They could also give it to Earth Spirit. I wouldn't mind seeing Earth Spirit with it, if they get it. But on the other side, Emo already has one. I think you just give it to Sven, if they are the ones who can pick it up. Like that transportation, the Superman mode, unlock. Oh, he also he also built the Lycan Sphere, which I really like. You know, a Lotus Orb and the Lycan Sphere against the Razor. It's a 9k gold lead for EG, but at the moment, like, you can't feel that they're missing that amount of gold. It doesn't really matter.
They can't jump Fly and deal with him at the start of the fight. Fly is just going to cause a whole lot of issues as the fight draws on. If he can get that BKB and God Strength off, out the threat of being static linked by Artesia.
Bounty.
Around this area, lost fight here. I mean, a lost Aegis, Cheese, and Aghanims. Abed spending up the money. Will invest in the Aghanims for himself.
Agents of the Void.
We'll have that good to go for the next fight.
They don't have too many abilities that they can, like, pierce this Lycan Sphere with. They might use Frostbite. I don't think you want to use the Force Staff from the Crystal Maiden. You want to save that for defensive purposes.
Bounty.
They lost the gem. This is also the big part. You know, now IG, they're holding 2 gems. They still have Necro units to devord any possible wards. A big item on Razor. He got that Butterfly. Sven does not have a True Strike.
Level 25, Hex Stun. That's a lot of lockdown for Hex and Simulate Stun. EG don't get their BKBs off in time. There will be more than enough Chain Stun to hold Artesia in place to allow Fly to get the kill.
And the BKBs are down to 5 seconds.
Crit goes down as well.
That jump, you know, they go in, but they get caught. There's so much control coming up from the Void Spirit. You have the Hex, you have that AoE silence, the Simulate also stuns, level 25 talent. Now they can go inside the pit. Crit already bought back in the previous fight, so he's not gonna have it. Storm Spirit invested all of his gold into that new shiny Aghanim Scepter. I don't think they have enough to deal with that for farm Sven right now, and also Emo. Like, he managed to make a comeback after getting caught multiple times in a row. Like, he's super strong right now.
He really did. The impact he can have at this point, that much lockdown around these low is just pretty much unmatched.
Radiant's
courier. Anytime IG get the jump and have the better time.
Oh, it's Nyx Assassin who picks up the axe. So he wants the burrow himself.
Dire's
something else in these team fights that's going to make it pretty much impossible
Radiant's
for EG to
middle
keep
tower
the
is
fight
under
going
attack.
when the BKBs end. So he'll have such an easy time just throwing out his abilities from a distance.
Radiant's middle tower
IG
has
ready
fallen.
to push up to the high ground their time. They're now holding the 5k lead. EG
Radiant's top
letting
tower
that
is under
strong
attack.
mid game that they had really slip away now as IG, they're back in charge with how large Fly is.
Lycan
Radiant's
Wolves
top tower is under attack.
and Necro units, like, you need to keep that away from Sven. He pretty much one-shots it. Also, you need to keep it away from Bit of Malice. It will this lineup will start to fall off. You know, you have a Razor, he deals the damage,
Radiant's top tower
but
has
they have
fallen.
the tools to deal with him right now. There is a Lycan Sphere, there is a Lotus Orb.
Germany's on the front, RPG dead, he's got no buyback! RPG dead for 100, 350 gold short from buyback! And Sir Chris done as well, his buyback on cooldown. I mean, they're just sitting on the high ground, having a look out, and suddenly Ivy, they're on top of him, he's gone. Ivy's gonna have all the space in the world to take so much here from the base of EG.
Yeah, that's a minute and 20 seconds without...
Radiant's
Oh my
top
god,
tower
they
has
can't
fallen.
pick up
I
any
mean, that might be
boundaries.
it.
Radiant's
But
top
IG
tower
realized
They
there's no
probably
buyback.
think, you know, he has it, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, and they're poking pretty hard here with Fly. Yeah, they're being cautious though. They're looking towards the racks instead, all ready for the jump. Straight up towards the fans, and Emo's looking to get more kills here. Fly will live.
has fallen.
As he gets away, actually Emo losing his shard there because of that dive. We have Ice trying for the split mid. He does have creeps pushing in with an Ice. The Ice might just be enough to stop EG from losing anything more than the mid and the top rack.
He's being very cautious about what's happening. He has the Wolves, Necro
Radiant's bottom
available,
tower
but they
is
might
under
go
attack.
for the Mega.
Yeah, they're sticking
30
around.
seconds without Arteezy.
Don't know now that RPG has not got the gold to get back in. Still 100 gold short on the Razor. CG, they're trying to start, so they've got to be careful. Kaka with the bar, he's able to try and get the setup onto Fly, forces back to safety. JT actually going to look to take them out here. Zabek comes in, they're looking to jump onto JT, but JT gets them all out.
Yeah, that's a level 3 ulti for second teleport delay. At least they did not get the Mega Creep, so they still have possibly one more fight. Arteezy definitely needs to farm up his buyback. He's gonna have it in the 400 gold. Double damage spawned on top. There's still ages for almost full 2 minutes. IG, they want to take another fight.
They still know how strong of a position they're in right now off the back of those last few moves. 11k lead, IG just playing this late game perfectly, and EG starting to make some mistakes.
This could be the big one. You know, Storm Spirit hitting level 25. He has that Electric Rave as well on top of the Aghanim Scepter. I'm not sure if anyone bought the Tome or was it him, but they might need this. Like, it's ton of damage.
It's so much damage. It really is. 2 times overload attack bouncing your whole team. As long as they can live to get their hits off, the BKBs are down on IG. Can't underestimate how much magical burst that will be at this stage of the game. Fly is just ever so tanky. 4.4k gold, ready to start building towards his next item. 10k ahead of that of the farm of Arteezy right now.
Still have that Aegis. They have gems, so they can get rid of any kind of vision. They also have cheese on Void Spirit.
The IG, they're looking for the jump. They want to make it. Going blind, they do it. He's going to jump over to Orbit. Emo's in. He's going to jump over towards the storm for Orbit. They're going to be giving up, but he can't zip away in time. Orbit down for 90 seconds. Without the goal for buyback. EG, they're going to try and get it. He's going to BKB. Forcing them back, Jake. He's ready to rip the team out, though. The rip is going to take them away. This for Emo.
Oh, they forgot. They forgot Nyx.
They kind of split up. Einstein will live on just a slither of health as he's able to run away. Emo's still fighting back against Chris. Kaka remaining forward, causing some issues here for EG as they'll slowly but surely bring him down. Emo trying to finish off Chris with the back up there. RTG jumps across.
It's gone in a second. They did not time it. Oh, that would be so big.
And as it is, Emo's just going to get a free reset. As time creep holds the rest of IG to get back over. And now still 50 seconds without Arbed. IG, they'll still play it careful, not wanting to push in with Kaka dead.
Surprised that JT decided to just bail them out completely. I think like they can go for this kind of a play with Sven focusing the barracks and then bailing. They also need to be careful about the Force Staff so that someone does not get caught inside of the base without getting back. Oh, we can see that. Like Razor, he's also level 25, extra attack speed. It's just a lot of damage. You know, a lot of damage. He might not be able to get the static link off the Sven anymore unless they proc his Lycan sphere. So might just go for a different target.
See it again here. She said, well, what do you reckon the time it was on that Aegis? Were you keeping track of it?
Yeah, I was keeping track. It was
Radiant
4 seconds apparently. So close to making such a big play, but couldn't quite control how quickly they took down Emo. So Emo able to get away with sticking around, and
it was like 3-0-1, you know, but once it needs to kick in, so it was very close.
G to hit out with a smoke here. See there, the Aghanim's JT's going to have an even easier time of quickly taking his team out if he feels that the fight is going the wrong way.
EG will love to farm up buybacks on especially on the Storm Spirit. Like Lycan doesn't matter that much, especially if he uses the form already. But they need this buyback on the Storm Spirit, and they would also love to get that level 25.
29-24. IG still with the 12k lead. Fly. Getting close to the money to be able to slot something out, get his Abyssal Blade in. Still have buyback gold available pretty much. Incredibly rich.
Radiant's middle
pressure,
tower
and of course
is
with
under
that
attack.
shard, that extra reach and simulate that he'll have means that just the area of coverage that he can get in and onto you and get that 2.5 second stun off, it makes it so hard to choose the right time to start retreating, as he'll always be able to chase you with that much range.
I'm over here.
Dark Rift, Aghanim Scepter upgraded by Underlord, so that means 1 second less delay.
They're gonna jump on Easy, keep it in! But they've got the Hex, they've got the Dissimulate, stun on Easy, trouble, he's getting taken out, gets the BKB off! Oh, don't phase, Easy will be able to keep himself alive! Ice moves over the back lines, takes down Ollie, but the Rod's there, they control Ice, they bring him down, the Lycan falls!
Radiant's
somehow though, EG able to keep RTZ alive. Nearly ending in another disaster there, RTZ still does not have the buyback goal. It's a little bit of the RTZ moving, they've got the link down on the fly, they take him out, time they can! The Rift gets fly out of there! Not easy, he's low, Emo's backing up.
He's gonna drop.
Emo's able to just walk back up to him and out the Hex, Emo's able to send him on to crit, the Hex into the stars. A question mark
in the old chat, alright, I love that. GG's called, he was just standing there, alright.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, spicing it up a little bit. As, oh my goodness.
Like, that was so close, they managed to